everybody's going to want you to flip the page right away and ask, what's next for Dricus Du Plessis? How do you describe what that's like to like win a fight, put all of everything that you have into it, and then just to have it be another kind of step?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. So you get a lot of guys that I've seen at home. I own a gym, and I've been a part of owning a gym and building a team since I was 20 years old. So being around that, you see so many guys that are so talented, but all of a sudden they'll have like amateur fights, maybe 3 or 4, and they're just like, I'm going to keep on training, and they'll be winning these fights, and they'll be like, I'm going to keep on training, but I'm not going to fight anymore. And I'll be like, why? Like, you don't have to go all the way and be professional, but why not? And they would purely say, I'm not enjoying it. Like, the competition part, even guys, grapplers, they are so good, but they don't want to compete. They don't, that anxiety of competing, and like we all get it. I love it. That's the feeling we most likely do this for.
The fear.
The fear of, you can call it fear. I think it's a fear of not the unknown.
I know what you're talking about. It's not
you're
not like you're afraid of the challenge. I get it. But
that butterfly feeling you
when
get.
does that come for you? Like, when do you really feel it?
When they say, when we're finished warming up and they just say, okay, let's go.
When the people in the back of the arena tell you like 2 minutes to walk.
Yeah, 2 minutes to walk, and you're like, okay, here we go.
Describe that feeling.
And yeah, it's almost like, and everybody's just like, okay, cool, get this. And for them, it's always interesting to see, because everybody else just goes on, do their normal thing. Like, okay, we have to take this, make sure you have that. And you're just there completely focused on the task at hand. And as soon as they say that, you know, within 5 minutes, I'm going to war. Within 5 minutes, I'm going to do the most important thing of my life. This is the biggest moment of my life in the next 5 minutes. And you think about the magnitude of such a thing to me. So to somebody else, it might not be, but to me, that's the most important thing I'm ever going to do. And it's insane. I always start smiling when I feel that. I'm always like, whew, this is great.
Do you feel it now?
I feel it now.
That's why you're smiling.
Yeah. I feel it now.
Does your mouth get dry?
My mouth doesn't get dry, yeah.
Yeah.
My mouth gets dry.
Yeah, Brian Ortega told me, he's just like, he gets a little fearful when they're doing the warm-up and when Bruce is announcing, and he's just like, gosh, like, what did I get myself into?
Always thinking, what am I doing?
What am I doing? And then he looks across the octagon and he sees the guy take a sip of water, and he's like, good, he's feeling the same thing.
Feeling that. That's the thing you have to realize. They feel the same way.
Yeah. That's like,
like as I just spoke about it, like I went to exact that moment, and I just felt that again. It feels, and it's amazing. Yeah. And as you walk out, as that song starts playing, I'm like, here we go. Mm-hmm. No bagging out now. Let's go. Full speed. Let's go.
Yeah. And as I kind of want my show to be able to relate to the every man or woman that wants to excel in what they do, that's the one thing that you can't equate.
You can't.
I would imagine. Like, you just can't do it.
I've done a video on this as well, and it's somewhere on YouTube, and it's called A Unique Feeling to Fighting. And I explained that exact, standing in that little dark room before you exit out to the crowd, what's going through the thoughts going through your mind, the mental process, the switch in being a normal human being and being the guy that walks out there to fight is tremendous. I think
how different you have to be.
How different you have to be, because this might sound out of a little bit hectic, but in an actual sense, you have to be willing, and this is how I feel. I have to be willing to die when I go out there, but I also have to be willing to take a life when I go out there, because it's me or you. And it's just a sport for a lot of people, but not for me. This is not a sport. This is my life. And to make that, you can't be walking around in everyday life and being like, I'm willing to die and take a life. You can't have that mindset. You're going to have a hard time in the normal society. So you have to be able to make that switch. And that switch is a very important part of this game.
Yeah, because I've always known you to be a nice guy. Whenever I run into you, it's a lot more like this.
Yes.
And a lot less of me or you, right?
Yes, exactly.
Willing to die and take a life.
And it's
but I would say it's accurate. A lot of fighters say that.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters say that. I'm going in, and I don't know if I'm coming out.
That's it.
And you have to
I
think
say
that
my
way.
goodbyes before every fight.
You say goodbyes.
I say my goodbyes to all my parents, my brothers. I say thanks for everything. See you on the flip side, guys. Like, thanks. You know?
We'll see on the flip side.
Yeah, but I'm 100%, like, they know. Like, the way I see it is, and the way I say it is, thank you for everything. And, like, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how not a lot of people get the opportunity to say goodbye. So if anything should ever happen, I've said my goodbyes, and, you know, that's a privilege.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild to think of. You mentioned that you get started in martial arts. Your brothers were in judo, right? Champions, and you wanted to be in the UFC for a long time when you were a teenager.
Yes.
Like, when did you kind of set that goal?
To be in the UFC, man, it was just
13?
Yeah, 14.
14?
Yeah, 14.
How would you describe what it's been like to be a UFC fighter and now contender compared to what you thought it might be like? What did you think it would be like?
I think it's exactly the same that I thought. It feels exactly the way I imagined it.
Yeah.
And I believe that it can be for everybody. I think it's going to be exactly what you want it to be. I think it's one thing that I have to say, like, one thing you have to realize is no matter what you do, there's going to be pros and cons. Well, no matter what you say, no matter how you fight, you know, if you're a brawler, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. And at the end of the day, you have to quickly realize, do your thing. Do what makes you happy, do what you like to do, and, you know, the rest will follow.
Yeah. How have you been with, like, the spotlight, knowing that it's not just what happens inside the octagon?
Yeah.
It's now like talk shows. Israel's saying this, you're saying this, commenters are saying this. There's a whole extra part of the game that has nothing to do with training, fighting, grappling, striking, any of that. How has that affected you?
Yeah, I feel what a lot of people have asked me, like, listen, doesn't this affect you? And I'm in a fortunate position where I feel I climbed the ladder my whole career, getting a bit more exposure, getting a bit more media, getting a bit more known, it wasn't just overnight, boom. And that has helped me a lot. And like I said, having the honest people around me, my family, my team, the friends, the trusted people, the people whose opinion I trust, that's very important to keep you grounded and keep you, like, not to completely go into that world of this is all hype, and to keep you yourself.
Right.
Keep and stay true to your own beliefs and be yourself. And I try to do that all the time. Try and be myself in whatever I say. And, you know, it's hard when you're in the spotlight and, you know, you get a question. Sometimes people, and you have to know, they will hold that against you,
Yes.
whatever you're saying. I mean, in everyday life, you speak wrong, and you're like, oh no, I didn't mean it like that, and then you explain yourself. But you don't have that luxury. Like, if you said it, you said it.
Right.
So I mean, at the end of the day, just be true to yourself. So you don't have to go into that deep persona of being somebody else. So for me, that became more of a reality in the past, let's say, 2 years than ever before.
Right.
Like, it gets bigger and bigger, and you have to realize, like, you know, for family, you know, even my mom, she's like, this is terrible.
Yeah, right. They're saying this about my son,
exactly,
my youngest, my baby.
I can't believe, look what they're saying about you. And I'm like, Mom, it's all right.
Yeah,
I promise it's going to be cool. Like, of course people are going to say stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm just like, but, you know, for me, I knew what was, you know, I'm a massive fight fan. So
Right.
I've been a fan of the UFC and UFC fighters my whole life. So I've known this is what it's like. You know, I was one of those people who left comments.
Yes,
You
right.
know, I've
We
been,
were fans.
Yes.
As while we were
Absolutely.
coming up.
Yeah, and you know, but I'm enjoying the
Yeah.
whole experience of it.
The Africa thing, is that something where, like, when you said I'll be the true first African champion?
I never said that.
What did you say?
I never said true.
Right. What did you say?
I said I'm going to be the first residing African.
Got it.
That's what I said.
Right, because some people say, "Oh, first African-born champion." I'm just like, "Well, Francis Ngannou, you know, all
people,
that."
and
So you
also,
said you'll be the first champion from Africa, lives in Africa,
Yes.
calls Africa home.
who lives in Africa, born in Africa. I've raised in Africa. I train out of Africa.
Right.
after this fight, I'm going home, back to Africa. That's the place I live. And
Is that something that you expected outcry from? Or were you like shocked, like, geez, like you can't say anything?
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect.
You didn't expect it to be to have me talking to you about it, all this time.
Not at all. It was purely, it was a goal.
Right.
It was a goal going
to be a homegrown person.
This is going to be on a record book.
Right.
This is, in some sense, this is going on the books. I am the first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am now the first, the highest ranking residing African ever.
Mm-hmm.
That is already written.
Right.
So that was exactly what I said.
Okay, got you, yeah.
But
it makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, and obviously when the whole outcry, and like when people started going crazy, I think it was maybe 3 weeks after the fight. So, it wasn't, when I said I said it, and all of a sudden it just went, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Geez, this?
Yeah,
Gosh,
but it's good.
Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Full episodes of Fitz Nation are streaming on UFC Fight Pass. So much for fight fans to enjoy on Fight Pass. You can find the link in the description to sign up. And for those of you on the go, you can listen to Fitz Nation wherever you find podcasts.